Hey guys, welcome to today's episode, and we have Dr. Bob Harding, and our topic today is how to look amazing over 40 using peptides, hormones, and having massive fat loss, which everyone wants. And Dr. Bob Harding is a board-certified emergency physician, and he's also an integrative functional medicine doctor, which I love talking to people who are on both sides of the field. And he talks a lot about longevity care. So welcome, Dr. Bob. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your health journey and how you got here.
All right. Well, I'm a native Long Islander, and now I'm a Yankee Texan. So I live in Austin, Texas. And I started my journey as an emergency physician. I did 4 years of residency in that, and then jumped right into emergency medicine practice here in Austin, Texas. And I really was an ambitious young physician. I took on a lot of administrative duties when I was just out of residency. I became a medical director, was on call 24 hours a day for about 10 years, and then became the head recruiter for my group. So I flew around the country recruiting doctors to Texas and became a managing partner in my group. And we grew our group from like 13 hospitals to 35 hospitals, and then we ended up selling it to another group. But during that time, health period, I ballooned up to about 220 pounds. I was highly inflamed. I had back pain, knee problems, and I just was under a lot of stress, working a lot of shifts, and started a young family. I had 2 young boys, and then travel around the country. So that just really took its toll. And my wife, who's an integrative and functional medicine doctor, was graduating from the integrative medicine fellowship at the University of Arizona. I was there, and I was like, I should do this. So I did that, and that started my trajectory into learning more about age management, medicine, functional medicine. And then I've kind of gone on to like peptide medicine, which is a new field that we use in the integrative health, integrative medicine field to really help with fat loss. So on that journey, I was at PaleoFX in Austin, Texas, and I was listening to Mark Sisson talk, and talked mostly about his career. And at that point, I was like, I got to do something different. So I dropped all my stressful jobs, just went back to working as an ER physician, and then went into the integrative medicine space. And on that journey, I lost the first 10 pounds was like amazing. I went from, remember, 220 pounds down to 210 pounds. I have it all on Facebook. If you look at Bob Harding on Facebook and you see Dr. Fat Bob to Dr. Fit Bob, and I have a whole thing I did. So that helped with some accountability. But losing that first 10 pounds, I got rid of this horrible heartburn. I had heartburn for years, like on Dexcom, omeprazole. These are really strong proton pump inhibitors, which I don't suggest anybody take for a long period of time. So 10 pounds made an amazing difference. Then the next 10 pounds did a great job. And then I was, a little bit stuck for a while, and then finally went to the doctor. I never really went to the doctor. I was like 40 something and got some blood tests and found out I was hypothyroid. Maybe my testosterone was a little bit low. So I started replacing hormones like DHEA, thyroid, and testosterone, and then really started to gain muscle and lose a lot more body fat. So I'm still working on getting that 6-pack, which is kind of a challenge. I do a lot of intermittent fasting. I fasted probably 21 hours yesterday, 22 hours yesterday on a busy ER shift. But it's still quite a challenge. So that's kind of what brought me to where I am. And now I have a concierge medical practice at the Apeiron Center in Austin, where we kind of take a really whole systems look at a lot of different aspects of people's lives. We look at their mindset, we look at their sleep, we look at their body composition with something called the DEXA scan, which I suggest everybody get to take a look at their percentage of their body fat, their bone mineral density, their amount of muscle mass in their body. And we do brainwave tests. We do breathing to see how people are breathing. So it's pretty comprehensive. So that's what I do on my off days from the ER.
Awesome. So tell everyone, what are peptides for people who've never heard of that?
So peptides are smaller protein molecules. So let's say up to, some of them are 4 amino acids. There's 20 different amino acids, and probably your audience probably knows the importance of getting a good variety of amino acids for maintaining muscle mass. But peptides are small molecules. They're smaller proteins. that are utilized in the body for signaling. So the first one that was discovered was insulin, which is a huge benefit to type 1 diabetics. Type 1 diabetics are diabetics that do not make any more insulin. So if you're not making any insulin, you can't get glucose into your cells and you end up dying. You go into diabetic ketoacidosis. Diabetic ketoacidosis is a life-threatening thing that I deal with. So that was the first peptide that was found. And now there's over like 7,000 known peptides that are being researched. And some of these are FDA approved. Some have been kind of orphaned because the pharmaceutical companies can't really make a lot of money off of them. So there's physicians in the integrative space who have gotten extra training on how to utilize these peptides to do things like improve cognition, improve repair of injuries. So if you injure a muscle or a tendon, there's peptides we use for that. If you have the beginning signs of cognitive problems, we'll use peptides for that. And one of the biggest things, one of my passions is weight loss and fat loss and gaining muscle, because that was a really big part of my journey to health. And I feel better today at 44 than I did at 32. So there's a lot of different things coming out with the peptides. There's different ones coming out, and fat loss is a really big part of what people are interested in.
So like if you were going to find peptides in supplements, then would they like get that from like eggs and meat and like flaxseed, or where do you get those peptides if you were going to get them in supplements?
So there's you don't really get them in just regular supplements. So your body will make these peptides. So let's talk about a peptide called BPC 157 that people might have heard of. So BPC is called body protective compound. And this is a compound that's actually made in your stomach. And the reason your stomach makes is to help protect the stomach lining. So it also, we've found that it can help with any kind of bony injury or ligament injury or even tendon injuries. And this one is actually one you can get in a supplement form. My brother-in-law was involved in a pretty serious accident and has a difficulty with healing of one of his foot bones. And we actually are utilizing the supplement for that. And he says he's feeling a lot better. So that along with, optimizing vitamin D level, taking vitamin C and collagen, things like that. So you can't really get a lot of these in just supplement forms. Now, your body does make certain peptides for a lot of signaling things. And BPC is a great example of that.
Hey guys, I don't know about you, but if you are just feeling so tired throughout the day and just feeling restless at night, then I want you to try something called Energy Bits. Each package has spirulina or chlorella algae. They're plant-based and they have 0 sugar, 40 nutrients, 5 grams of protein. And so you are gonna feel great taking them. So go to energybits.com and then you'll get 20% off if you put the promo code Chantel. That's CHANTEL. Okay, and so how can you use peptides for fat loss? So what would someone have to do? Would it be through supplementation? Would it be through the foods they eat?
Yeah, so the best thing to do is work with a physician like me that has training in it. So we had a lot of physicians that are in integrative space are involved with the International Peptide Society, and they actually have a listing to find physicians to work with. So I recommend that. A lot of times these are made from compounding pharmacies. Some of the ones with the most research, let's talk about tesamorelin. So tesamorelin is a FDA-approved peptide used for visceral fat loss in men who have HIV and they're on antiviral medications. So what happens after long-term use of these antiviral medications for HIV, you can increase it's called lipodystrophy. So you can get fat in the belly and visceral fat. And visceral fat is the more inflammatory fat. So I think one of the goals when you're trying fat loss is like, let's decrease that visceral fat. And that's something I like to follow in my clients with a DEXA scan. So when you get a DEXA scan, you can take a look at how many pounds of visceral fat are there. And that's a good indicator. So to decrease that visceral fat is great. So tesamorelin is an injection that you have to get a prescription for. And that would be an injection every night. And a lot of times we'll do it 6 days of the week for 6 to 8 weeks. And people can have profound weight loss with that. And you have to do all the dietary stuff. And when it comes to weight loss, and if you've been obese for a long time in your life, like I was, you have to change your mindset about a lot of things. I just got back from the Dr. Joe Dispenza's week-long meditation retreat. So if you put things out there, you put these thoughts of loving yourself and seeking abundance, and you put these thoughts out there, things can change. You have to break the habit of kind of being yourself. So testosterone's a great one. And this is a growth hormone releasing hormone, it mimics that hormone. And what happens with growth hormone is as you get older, you start to release less. So we think that your pituitary gland actually has a good amount of growth hormone in there. It's just kind of getting it out of the pituitary gland to go through your body is a challenge. And growth hormone is released about 9 times per day. And if you have a normal circadian rhythm, not like an ER doctor's circadian rhythm, and you go to bed, let's say at 10 o'clock, your growth hormone, the highest amount released is thought to be about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So we utilize these peptides at night to really augment. We kind of tickle the pituitary gland through receptors, and that's going to augment the release of that growth hormone. And that's going to help with fat loss, generally feeling well. It's going to help with your cognition. So there's a lot of, growth and repair. So if people come in, they've injured a muscle or a ligament, a lot of times we'll use something like BPC 157 and something called TB 500, and then even like a growth hormone releasing hormone type medicine. A lot of times we use CJC 1295 and ipamorelin. So that kind of stack will really help with these. So sometimes we'll actually do the testosterone in the evening and then again in the morning before a workout, and that could even expedite it. Or we'll use testosterone at night, and then something called ipamorelin, which is a growth hormone releasing peptide that works a little bit differently. The testosterone works on the hypothalamus and a little bit on the pituitary gland, and the ipamorelin works more on the pituitary gland to help augment that release of the growth hormone. So it's a little bit different than people just injecting regular growth hormone, because there's some dangers with just, constantly injecting yourself with growth hormone. You can get diabetes, and, we're not always sure about the cancer risk for that.
Hey guys, I have a free smoothie book that has over 20 recipes that are super unique, like broccoli bonanza, great green smoothie, and mojito madness, and so much more. They are really amazing and you're gonna love them. And the best part is it's totally free. So go to chantelrayway.com/free recipe and you'll get the book and tons of other free recipes. Or just look in the show notes and click there. Awesome. So now, do you see patients with your functional medicine? Do you see them like through Skype? So if someone lived in, say, New York, they could come see you, or they could see you via Skype?
Yeah, well, the whole thing with we have a liability as opposed to a lot of different people. As a physician, you have a lot more liability as opposed to more of the online health coaches that are not prescribing medicine. So what happened, I have patients from around the country. I have someone coming in from out of the country next month. They come in, we do a pretty extensive evaluation. So they come in for 2 days, and then we do everything over Zoom. So I actually meet with them every month. So it's kind of an intense program. And, I'm a results-oriented physician. I'm an ER doctor. I'm used to like getting results, right? You order a blood test, you order a CAT scan, boom, it's there. You want some vital signs, you have someone get some vital signs, everything's there. So I like to, work with people, and, a lot of this is around mindset, and a lot of it's around food. Food's kind of the hardest thing to really coach people on and change.
So what does your particular eating look like? Like what kind of changes did you make in your diet, and how obviously you added the intermittent fasting in? Sometimes, you said you might be going, 20, 22 hours before you're eating, but what are you doing as far as your food goes? What have you kind of limited? What are you kind of taken out altogether?
So, yeah, I just slowly gained weight as I got older. Probably was like 190 pounds at 20, and then it slowly went up. So I didn't do a lot of yo-yo diet. I could never lose weight. I tried. I was like, oh, let me try going vegan, and did that for a month. Let me do vegetarian. But then, one of my things I used to do was on the way, I used to work an hour from Austin. On my way up there, I'd stop at Starbucks and get like the mozzarella and pesto sauce, the like cheese sandwiches in the morning and eat that, or the egg sandwiches. That was my daily habit. So one of the things that I think helped decrease some inflammation in my body, I think all disease related to inflammation. So back pain, knee pain. I used to get some styes on my eyes, and I think that was related to some of the gluten I was eating. So I kind of really cut out the gluten as much as possible. I'm like an 80-20% guy. I still like to sometimes overeat, or I make it more celebratory. But I started to really try to skip breakfast, and I just when I get those hunger feelings, they come and then they can go. So some of the things I've been, apple cider vinegar and water, I don't know if that works. I don't know. It seems to work. If you believe something works, it works, right? This is, whenever I'm working with somebody, I'm like, you're going to put this injection, it's going to help you lose weight. So I think that, you have to believe that medicine's going to help you, or surgery's going to help you, a supplement's going to help you, or food's going to help you. So really cutting back on breakfast was a big thing for me. And I can kind of try to embrace that hunger, because when you have that hunger, that increases your ghrelin hormone level. And when your ghrelin hormone level goes up, it can actually increase your growth hormone level. So a lot of these peptides are what we call ghrelin mimetics, like ipamorelin or MK677. These are peptides that we use to kind of increase, that act like ghrelin on the pituitary gland to release growth hormone. So I kind of embrace that hunger until it maybe gets too much. But I'll try, like today, I got home a little bit late from my shift, and I finished eating at 10 p.m. So I ate from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. yesterday. And I'm gonna try and push it at least to 3 o'clock today. And now it's recorded, so I have to. So, I put it out there on social media. So I'm done. Right. You might end up texting me, say, "Hey, did you eat yet?"
That's awesome. So let's talk about, you've got so many supplements on your drbobharding.com. And so as far as weight loss goes, what would you say if someone's like, look, I really want to, increase my fat loss, I want to increase my weight loss. What are some of the supplements that are kind of like, you definitely need this on my website?
Sure. Well, that you can, I have people that come to me, they're on $1,000 of supplements per month. I'm like, whoa, my gosh, that's a lot. So I try to, and my wife's a functional medicine doctor. We have a lot of supplements all over the house. There's stuff for the kids, stuff for me. One of the, some of the things I like to do is a good multivitamin. So I have, so at my medical practice, we have a store. It's called the Appearance Store, and we made really good vitamins, which has like selenium and vitamin A and with palmitic acid. So I'll take that. That's a little bit cheaper. And then I do Pure Encapsulations Men's Pack, because it's got a lot of good anti-inflammatory stuff in there. So for weight loss, I think curcumin is great. It generally decreases inflammation. Maybe it can upregulate some of the fat loss. There's some literature out that holy basil can maybe upregulate some of your growth hormone receptors in your muscles. So that's a good one to use. Optimizing your vitamin D is also going to be key. I'd like to see it above 50. Some people like to see it, maybe closer to 80. So those are good basics.
Hey guys, I want you to know what I've been doing for my health that is absolutely transforming it. I'm taking massive amounts of vitamin C. Now, it's not just the regular vitamin C. This is 100% natural, and it only contains natural sources, whole foods like amla berry, camu berry, cherry. So it's literally just ground up fruits and massive amounts, and it delivers 750% of your daily recommended vitamin C. So I literally double it, and I have just seen so many benefits. So go to chantelrayway.com/vitamin C to get yours today. Well, that's good. Let's talk about sleep for just a second. I know that you were talking about just how important it is for its regenerative effects on you. What are some things people can do to really improve their sleep?
Sure. So, I do a lot of genetic testing in my practice. So one of the things we look at is a chronotype. Is like, are you a morning person or a night person? I've done, many of these, and I've never seen someone as a night person. So getting outside in the morning and getting some of that sunlight is going to help it's going to help prepare you to go to sleep at night. So going to bed by 10 and getting 8 or 9 hours of sleep is really key. As I said, you're going to have the most growth hormone released about 1 o'clock in the morning. So if you get to bed at 10, that's going to be ideal. And when it comes to sleep and restorative sleep, we look at deep sleep, and then we look at REM sleep. And the majority of people are going to get most of their deep sleep within the first 4 hours of sleep. And the best time is like between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And what I like to see in myself and my clients is to get an hour and a half of deep sleep, which is very challenging. And there's a lot of research showing those people that are getting less deep sleep have increased chance for Alzheimer's and cognitive decline as they get older. And, for some reason, some people can get it, some people can't. And then I like to see an hour and a half of REM sleep at least. So combined 3 hours of deep and REM sleep would be perfect. Now, good sleep hygiene, maybe taking a shower at night, that's going to decrease your body temperature. Make sure the room is cold. When you listen to some of the sleep gurus, they say 68 degrees in the room is ideal. My wife wouldn't let that happen. Some of these cooling blankets or cooling mats that can decrease your body temperature. Using a sleep mask. Man, I just started using this about 2 years ago. I could really benefit from that. Now, if you're a night shift worker or like an ER doctor, you're a nurse, 40% of the working population in the United States is on some kind of shift schedule that really messes with their circadian rhythm. You got to keep your room as dark as possible because you have receptors on your skin, not just on your eyes, that's going to affect the quality of your sleep. So making sure your room is dark as possible. And then supplement-wise, I think a lot of people get benefit from magnesium glycinate. A lot of times we do like 400 milligrams at night. And magnesium threonate is another one that can help. These are absorbed better into the brain as opposed to magnesium citrate. Glycine is another good supplement. Glycine is your relaxation neurotransmitter. Glutamate is your excitatory neurotransmitter. People are very susceptible to having anxiety or sleep disruption from too much glutamate. So monosodium glutamate, which is MSG, what you might see in some foods, that can be dangerous. Sometimes grains have that too, have extra glutamate. So avoiding certain foods at night. So glycine is good, inositol powder. CBD for some people, a lot of the research out there is like 300 milligrams of CBD, which it's like be the whole container of my CBD, which is $100. So I don't know. If you take it and you believe it makes you feel better, hey, go for it. So CBD could be good. Valerian root, that's another supplement you can get. Kava is another supplement.
So obviously I have a Oura ring that I love.
Yeah.
And my sleep, I get about 7.5 hours of sleep is kind of the amount that I get almost every night. Like it's between 7 hours and 30 minutes and 7 hours and 40 minutes. Like exactly. Like I never seem to be able to make it to 8 hours and can't make it really till 9 every once in a blue moon. But on my thing, the number one thing that it shows, it's funny because I usually get, in the green on REM sleep. The two areas that don't have very good are my restfulness is not good. And then my deep sleep is usually a little bit less than it's supposed to be. So what would be the causes of those two things, like the restfulness and the deep sleep?
Well, it could be a lot of different things. Sometimes, definitely alcohol can affect.
I don't drink.
Oh, good for you. That's good.
I like to eat my calories. Everyone's always like, why don't you drink? And I'm like, I drink twice a year. And I just love to eat my calories. I don't like to drink them.
Hey, that's awesome. How about caffeine?
I don't drink any caffeine.
Okay.
None.
So the thing with caffeine, it's got a 6 hour half-life. And then, with genetics, you can say, some people are slower metabolizers or a faster metabolizer. So the caffeine could be a problem. So if you have 100 milligrams, like a coffee has 100 milligrams of caffeine, if you have a cup at 2:00, 50 milligrams still going to be in your system at 8:00. Mm-hmm. So caffeine is big. Eating too late. A lot of people, your stomach empties at different rates depending on what you eat, fats versus carbohydrates. But a common thinking is that if you don't eat anything 3 hours before sleep, you'll be able to get more deeper sleep. Mm-hmm. So that's a thing. And, I think when we look at like different kind of brain waves and we talk about meditation, and most people have high beta brain waves. So beta brain waves occur when you're doing a lot of analytical thinking. And like right now I'm in high beta because you ask me all these tough questions I got to answer, right? If I was alpha, I'd be like more relaxed, and beta, I'd be like hanging out like this. So, if you have a lot of analyzing just before you go to sleep and you're not very relaxed with your brainwaves, that could probably affect it too. So doing a meditation practice before you go to sleep is probably going to be beneficial. Actually, meditation is going to be beneficial no matter what you do. I mean, I just got back from Joe Dispenza's week-long retreat, and I've never felt this relaxed since I was 9 years old. I was like, I got pulled over 2 days ago. I was going to the ER. He was going a little bit faster than the 20-mile-an-hour school limit. And I normally I would have this huge sympathetic response, nothing, zero.
Wow. Did he give you a ticket?
No, I manifested. I said, this cop, he's going to know me, or, he's not going to give me a ticket. I put it out there in the quantum field, and no, he did. He did not know me, and he didn't give me a ticket. So I just kind of put that intention out there. So I think having, an intention that you're going to get good sleep, decreasing that mind racing is important. Exercise during the day, getting out in nature. Getting out in nature is going to decrease that sympathetic response. Most of us live too much in this sympathetic response. Mm-hmm. Your sympathetic response is your fight or flight. So, it was there when saber-toothed tigers were going to chase us. Then, we have fight or flight. Now, a lot of us live in this high sympathetic tone, myself included, for years. And, getting out of that and getting more parasympathetic, more relaxed is going to help. So sauna. I think the sauna is so good for you. Dr. Rhonda Patrick, some of your listeners might know her. She's got a great podcast, and she's has a lot of stuff on the sauna. But getting into sauna 4 to 7 times per week is going to be key to your longevity and fat loss. You actually can get a cardiovascular workout by sitting in the sauna and sweating. So this is, I go to the gym a lot, and I'm tired, and I don't always work out that hard. But I always hit the sauna for like 15, 20 minutes because I'm like, I might as well sit around and sweat and get a good workout.
I don't know about you, but all my friends like to enjoy a nice glass of wine after a long, stressful day. But the problem is that all these wines have so many harmful chemicals like pesticides and way too much sugar. If you're going to drink wine, you should drink Dry Farm wines. Their wines are all natural and additive free, and they are tested for purity, sugar-free, and low alcohol. So you can have the great taste of good wine without all those extra chemicals. And as a special gift, if you sign up with our link at chantelrayway.com/wine, you can get a bonus bottle of natural wine for just $1. So have that extra bottle of wine for $1. Go to chantelrayway.com/wine, or just click the show notes and you'll see the link right there. I think what I'm going to do tonight, because I always get a massage on Thursday night, I'm going to look at my deep sleep and my restfulness. I'm going to do some meditation, spend some time with God, do the sauna and the massage, and see how my numbers turn out in the morning.
I think that's the best thing that anyone can do is quantify yourself. So, I put in these, continuous glucose monitors on people. It's not really for me, it's for them. So when they eat that cookie, their blood sugar goes up. It's going to reinforce not to do that. And when you follow your own biometric data with the Oura Ring or something else, it really can change your behavior. You want to set goals like, I want to get to that, that mark. I want that readiness score to be over 90, which is hard to get, right? The readiness score over 90 in the Oura.
It is. I usually am at about 83 is my number.
Okay.
I get about 83 almost consistently, sometimes 82, but it's pretty much either 82 or 83 every night.
Yeah.
As far as the continuous glucose blood monitor, we talked about that on another podcast. I got it one time for about a week and put it on me. If someone just says, I want to get that continuous blood glucose monitor, they don't have diabetes, they just want it. Is that something, have they made it to where it's cheap enough where people can get it now just for fun? I mean, not for fun, but for really just looking at their blood sugar levels and where they're at.
Yeah, let's see. So when the FreeStyle Libre first came out, that's the yellow one, I got it from Canada. So I got it from a friend from Canada. So I didn't need a prescription for it. I think you need a doctor's prescription, and really insurance is not going to pay for it unless you're probably a type 1 diabetic. I'm not totally sure about that.
Right.
But, there's a Dexcom 6, which is a lot more expensive. I ordered one for a client. She said it was $1,000, but I don't know if it's that much. I thought it was $600. Now the FreeStyle Libre is about $100, and you got to pay a little extra for the sensors. And those sensors, you put it through the skin. I've done it, and it stays in there for about 10 to 14 days. And it's just really, you can ask your doctor to just write you a script for it. Your insurance probably won't pay for it, but I think it's worth it. Especially if you really want to dial in.
Do you think this FreeStyle Libres, the one that's only $100, do you think it's accurate?
I think it's good enough. So
good enough, yeah.
I think it's all about change behavior for most people. Now, if you're a type 1 diabetic and we really got to keep a good eye on things, and some of these type 1 diabetics, they do so much intermittent fasting and low carbohydrate intake, they're only taking like 20 units of insulin per day because they got everything dialed in. They're sleeping right. It's amazing what you can do to decrease your chances for chronic disease, even with type 1 diabetes. And that really helps them. So these aren't the people that are constantly, eating sugar, have difficulty controlling the insulin, have to take in a lot of sugar and stuff.
Now with the FreeStyle Libre versus the Dexcom, you said the Dexcom ranges anywhere from 600 to 1,000. The FreeStyle Libre you can get for 100. How much of a difference is the accuracy, would you say?
Well, I know some doctors in this space that wore both of them at the same time, and then were testing their finger, and they felt like the Dexcom was a lot more accurate. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I haven't really seen any data really comparing the two. Now, I just read an article that we might be, on a fancy watch like this, we might be able to get some continuous glucose monitoring through the watch. So that'd be interesting. So there's technology down the line. And the article was talking about, should we just be doing this with people with diabetes? Is it okay to do it with people who really want to optimize their health? And, some of the doctors in it's like, oh, we don't think it's necessary for people that are healthy. And I was like, why not? Why wouldn't you want to optimize your health? So those, some of the physicians really stuck in this.
I'm going to get one. I'm going to get my doctor to write me a prescription for it and definitely get one. I think I might just pull the trigger and buy that Dexcom one, because I just think it's fun. I think it's fun to be able to see what you ate this and this is where your blood sugar's at. You know what?
If you get both of them, put one here, put one there, and then you can compare. And then you'll have be nice for your listeners. And I'd be interested too.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And then I can do like little Instagram posts.
Yes.
Okay, I just ate this. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this one is.
Yeah, no, that'd be helpful. That'd be helpful for a lot of people, that are in this space, are really interested in optimizing their health.
Yeah, I love it. Well, this has been so much fun talking with you. Tell listeners where they can find you and where they can follow you.
Sure. So, I'm a 44-year-old ER doctor, so I'm getting there with all of my social media and my website. Actually, I'm working on a peptide book to give away. It's just a PDF that I got to put some fancy pictures on and stuff like that. I have someone working on it for me. So if people are interested in that, they can go to my website at drbobharding.com. Is a good place to find me. appearoncenter.com has about some of my medical practice too there, and then Dr. Bob Harding on Facebook is good, and Dr. Bob Harding ATX on Instagram. I have like 6 posts, and then LinkedIn is another place I put a lot. I have a lot of articles on peptides on LinkedIn right now.
Awesome. Well, it's been amazing having you. And if you have a question that you want answered, go to questions@chantelrayway.com. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.